This here is from Depp Delusion, and it's kind of a tricky one because it's something I don't talk about on this channel a lot. But it's not tricky because Johnny was mentioned. That's actually pretty easy. I'll get to that. But the wording might be a little bit edited. Johnny Depp name drop in the you know who emails. You can invite Depp to visit us when you're in the Caribbean. Now, this thing got out where Johnny was mentioned in some emails back and forth with some people related to this list. Not that Johnny was mentioned on it or anything like that. So, first off, and obviously common sense tells us Johnny can't control who mentions him. Johnny is probably one of the most 10 well known actors in the world, if not top 5. Of course, most likely, if they're trying to get famous people, that's got nothing to do with Johnny. And here it is. I don't think this is something this website put up there as kind of a fake thing. It seems like this did get out. This guy, Lawrence Krauss, emails this. When I was with him yesterday, I told him we were going to the Caribbean, and he asked where. He has an island in the Bahamas, making you two the only people I know who own islands. We'll ask him if he is free then. He is remarkable in a new movie, though the film itself is not fantastic. He is also a pretty good guitarist. His show with Alice Cooper and Joe Perry in LA was great. Lawrence Krauss. Now, I believe this guy probably knew Johnny. And you know what? A lot of famous people knew a lot of other famous people who went to this place because a lot of famous people went. That doesn't prove anything about involvement, they did anything, or anything like that. And to be clear, and just to say the brutal facts, is that even if we get this, we get a full list, all these names are on it, you still have to prove that they did things with minors illegally. Them just being on that list doesn't mean they were the ones that did things. So this is like a level people don't think about. I hope they didn't. I'm not saying, yay, we need more evidence, they're off the hook. Whoever is actually guilty, I fucking hope they fry. But the fact is, you still have to prove things. In the US, we say beyond the shadow of a doubt. So, beyond the shadow of a doubt, you've got to prove the people on the list did things illegal. But I'm going too deep. Obviously, Johnny can't control that this guy mentioned him. And if Johnny is friends with this guy or knows this guy, okay, how deep do you think their relationship went? Johnny's friends with a lot of people. So this here basically says somebody related to this case mentioned Johnny. That's all it is. And his stands are trying to deflect by resorting to years-old lies by Jessica Krause about Amber hosting trafficking parties, which was only based on Amber wearing costumes to a few parties. Imagine the outrage if this was her name in these emails, yet this is making almost no noise and getting excused. It's so exhausting. He'll never be accountable for anything. It's making no noise because if someone made noise about it, their audience would say, that guy mentioned Johnny, but Johnny's got nothing to do with that or no control over it. I mean, that's pretty simple. What do you want people to say? Someone related to this case mentioned Johnny, so he must be guilty and involved. I don't think so. The guy probably also mentioned meeting other famous people he knows. They're so truly pathetic. He didn't have to agree. The fact they have a mutual friend who's also a not safe for work predator that thought Depp would be into the idea of hanging out with you-know-who is enough. I mean, here's the thing. The reason that this person you-know-who got these people on the island was to get in good graces with powerful, famous people for when he needed a favor and money. He didn't do it because they were like friends and buddies and, yo, let's get our friend also to go to the Boston game. After that, we'll go to In-N-Out Burger. We'll chill, play some games. No, they were like, we got to get the most powerful, rich men we could find, obviously mostly men. So then, in the future, 5 years down the line or something, maybe you know who could call Johnny and say, hey, Johnny, can I borrow like $1 million or something like that? They weren't doing it because they were like these like buddies hanging out. Maybe some of them happened to become friends just because when people are in social circles and together, some people naturally become friends. But they weren't like buddy buddy with Johnny, wanting him to hang out with them. They were like, this guy's worth $800 million. It would be great if he could, come and we'll show him a good time and he'll owe us one. Common sense, if you think about it for like, I don't know, I'm on like 6 minutes here. If you think about it for like 6 minutes, you could come to a pretty solid conclusion. Both Jessica Reed Krause and Johnny Depp is friends with Gia, the girl who allegedly claimed Amber ran these not safe for work parties. Her real name is Renee Blythewood. It seems she has had some kind of intimate relationship with Depp. Reddit threads claim Renee is a high-end lady of the night, which we know Depp likes them escorts. Actually didn't know that. Maybe it's out somewhere or something. It's a whole different thing to unpack. But all right, I'll assume this person heard something somewhere about Depp and Ladies of the Night, but I actually can't recall ever hearing about it anywhere. And I checked good old AI to ask its opinion. Grok on X, a 2015 email with psychiatrist Lawrence Krauss, who interviewed Depp in 2015 and later supported Amber Heard, name dropped Depp to that guy on the island, casually noting his Bohemian Island and musical collaborations. That guy with the island replied by suggesting Krauss invite him. Exactly what I said. It's his island, it's his business, so he wants to get the best possible customers. So, of course, he's going to be like, hey, you think we could get Depp? This is my favorite part of the response. They've been conflated and shared out of context, often by Depp critics to imply involvement. See? A little question to AI, you get it all. However, no flight logs, depositions, or other records link Depp to you-know-who socially, financially, or criminally. Period. End of story. Okay, right. So I knew that name was familiar. Lawrence Krauss was the guy who supported Amber. What do you know? Anyway, so what I gotta say is, I rest my case. Happy hunting, Amber fans. Here's one more non-issue. If you're not subbed here, consider it. If you don't, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.